Boo! Happy Halloween everyone! Since it's the best time of the year to do so, I really wanted to highlight two action figures that really helped get me back into collecting toys. The Neca collection Ultimate Freddy and Ultimate Jason figures, which I bought in 2018. I've got a pretty okay collection of Neca toys and I really wanted to have a definitive version of some of the horror greats. I'm still missing a couple of key characters, so hopefully making this video will help get me back into the groove of trying to get a hold of them. This is the Ultimate Freddy figure, who I believe acted as a grand re-release of past figures, including designs and accessories that helped make other versions of that character in the past. They've made a few different variations before of this character in Neca, but this one seems to have the best options of accessories for me. Really great box art based on the first movie, one of the first toys in recent memory where I decided to actually hold onto the box so that I could store them away nicer after I opened them. We've got the original movie's poster here and an image of Fred up top there. On the back we can see all of the accessories included and a quick description for Freddy. I've always really loved the box art that Neca has made for these. It's really cool window packaging of the opening door, works really well for your displays. On the inside here we can see the figure with all of his accessories laid out, and there's also a nice image display of the figure. So here's Freddy out of his box. All of his accessories I've placed over to the side here for later. He's one of the more gruesome figures in my collection. Those scab detailings are really off-putting, but in the best kind of way. I'm really surprised and satisfied with the quality of this guy here. He's surprisingly well articulated as well. These type of famous movie characters have had toys for quite a long time now in the early 2000s, through the works of say companies like Neca, McFarlane, Mezco, that sort of stuff. And during that era they all had very minimal articulation and display posabilities compared to say the lines of like Toy Biz or Hasbro. The texture changes between his pants and his torso. It stands out really well. Doesn't really feel realistic, but it's different for a toy world to be able to show the difference of clothing through different materials like that. It's something that I'm personally a real fan of. He has some weathering as well as some blackened areas, showing some age in those spots, and the jumper has a little bit of dynamics going on here with that lower section there hanging down below onto his legs. Freddy's able to move his head all the way around. His arms can move up and down as well. They've got their own rotates, elbow joints for bends and rotates, and the hand follows through that as well. His glove is a really special piece here. Those blades are a simple rubber material, so they're soft to mess around with and they won't cause too much harm. Trickiest part here was trying to get him out of the box because his fingers are actually spread so far and wide his hand can get stuck when trying to remove him from his packaging. His other hand is an open palmed one. His waist can rotate around, but the jumper gets in the way a little bit here. He's also got some really solid articulation movement in his legs, which can move out and rotate around as well, with some knee articulation and the bare minimum for foot articulation here as well. Nothing too major going on here. Accessories though, he comes packing, and that's probably why people were so excited for these figures. I really love it when there's lots of accessories included with action figures, and these do all lend to some really great poses. First off, he's got his hat, of course. It's a rubber softer material. It's made for a really good easy fit onto his head. Accessories like this are always a gamble on the quality, because not only does it need to actually feel good holding it in person, it also needs to fit and interact with the figure well enough, and thankfully the hat is a really great success. He's got the skin mask. I think it's of Tina, I believe. The mask is really gross. It fits over the head perfectly. It just clips onto his nose there. I find this to be a very impressive piece, honestly. As unnerving as it is, I'm really fascinated when something like this can come to fruition. But speaking of heads and faces, Freddy has a couple of other different looks here. Here's his head where he has his face all peeled off. Very quick jump scare scene that's captured brilliantly in this figure. The head is significantly more gruesome than the original head that I said was gruesome. It's a really gross expression overall. He's also got the smiling expression head here, which has some very similar details to the other head that we were looking at before, but this expression better fits his overall character over the X amount of years that he was on screen. The angry head provided here suits the first movie better, but this definitely is better suited for a Freddy's Revenge to Freddy vs Jason kind of look. So with his hat and this head is the standard way that I choose to display him. As for his last set of extras here, he comes with his hand where he's cut off his fingers for a quick scare and bleeds some green blood. Another scene from the first movie that's a quick jump scare, captured here in toy form. Really fun ultimate inclusion. He also has Nancy's phone, which is a great piece overall with its details, paints, and colors. The end of that phone piece there actually features his mouth. This is an extra piece that's used to have for a nearby display. Freddy can't actually hold on to the phone or interact with this in any way. But that's my look at one of my favorite action figures that I own in my collection. This is the Ultimate Freddy figure. He released some time ago, so I'm not sure how accessible he is actually to get these days, but it is a standout within my collection of figures. All the details are there. They're all really great, really well put together, and as gross as that figure is with his details, he does seem to be the best definitive version of that character.